All righty then. What do you say? What do you know? Another great day in America. We had a beautiful day here in central New York. It was beautiful, light, fluffy snow. Got about 6 inches. Shoveled it 3 times, 2 inches each time. Could have done it with a broom. Hope the weather's nice where you are. I know you southern people hate the winter. Hope you're having a good winter. Worst 2 winters of my life were in Bethesda, Maryland. It was 40 and rainy almost every single day. I was never so cold in my entire life. I'd much prefer it to be 15 degrees and sunny than 40 degrees and rainy. All right, the president today, I hope you saw his address. He hit every single note flawlessly. Told Iran how much we'd spent. 1.2 trillion. How much do you think Iran has spent on its military? Well, we know it was limited by the money that Obama gave them. My friend Jim Broderick gave me a graphic today just to give you an idea of the comparative strength of the American and Iranian Air Force. Now you have to understand, first of all, this attack on our barracks yesterday, yeah, that wasn't an attack on our barracks. We back-channeled to them, look, we're going to let you save face. We're going to let you fire some missiles and say that you retaliated. Here are the 2 bases you're going to hit. We evacuated them. Nobody was in the area. And then they couldn't even hit the bases with their 1970s vintage missiles because the technology is literally 50 years old. And they're old and creaky, and they were, bolts were loosening and they were falling apart as they hit. So first of all, they've got nothing. They've got absolutely nothing. All they can do are terrorist attacks. Their terrorist attacks are effective. Otherwise, they've got nothing. But we let them save face. The president today said, we've spent 1.2 trillion. We've got the latest and greatest technology. You've got nothing. We've got everything. Oh, and by the way, we don't want to use it. ISIS was actually an enemy because ISIS was Sunni and Iran is Shiite. ISIS was an enemy to Iran, so Iran ought to be happy that we took out ISIS. And we ought to work together on other mutually shared goals. Okay, so he was extending the olive branch, right? With the left hand, he's extending the olive branch. And with the right hand, he's saying, I got a huge stick. I got a stick bigger than you've ever even thought about having a stick that big. But I don't want to use it. We don't want to use it. Our economy, biggest and best ever. He has defeated the Democrats in 3 phases. Number 1, they wanted us weak militarily. They lose. We're strong militarily now. Under the Sotoro Bunel regime, we literally had mechanics scrapping other airplanes in order to get parts to keep airplanes in the air. Our Marine, I think it was something like only a third of our Marine air capability was operational at any one time. They just didn't have the parts. Things were really bad for a really long time, and it was all by design. They want us weak militarily. They lose. They want us weak economically. They lose. President hit another note today. We do not need Middle East oil. As I said on Monday's show, we're not going into the Middle East for oil. It's an inferior product. We don't need the oil because we've got our own. And if we did need oil, we'd go take Venezuela's because Venezuela is in dire straits. And we would go down and help them out and take their oil, which is a much better, much higher grade product than what's pumped out of the Middle East. So he said, we don't need your oil. So the Sotoro Bunel left wanted us weak militarily, they lose. They wanted us weak economically, they lose. They wanted us dependent on Middle East oil, they lose. They lose in all 3 phases. We've got the world's strongest military, the strongest military in the history of the world. We've got the strongest economy in the history of the world. And we've got energy independence for the first time in, I think, 70 years. So let's take a look at what the Iranian air capability is. We have 13,398 planes. They've got 509. We have 2,362 fighter jets. They've got 142. So 142 of those 509 are fighters. We have 1,153 military transport planes. They've got 89. We have 5,760 helicopters, including 971 attack helicopters. They've got 126 helicopters, including 12 attack helicopters. I think we use 12 attack helicopters on some missions. We have 2,853 trainer aircraft. They have 104 aircraft. That disparity would be bad enough if Iran's numbers were the latest and greatest technology that are comparable to our planes, but they're not. These are Soviet-era 70s and 80s planes that they're flying. Okay, so they've got nothing. They've got no air capability, which made this statement in the New Yorker all the more infuriating today. Some Chris Matthews wannabe got a tingle up his leg, had a hard-on for the salami. Salami, a flamboyant former construction worker and bodybuilder with snowy white hair, a dapper beard, and arching salt and pepper eyebrows, gained notice during the 8-year war with Iraq in the 1980s. Get a room already. But then he continued, and this is perhaps the most offensive statement about the American military I have ever heard anyone on the left make, ever. He rose through the Revolutionary Guard to become head of the Quds Force, an Iranian unit of commandos comparable to the U.S. SEALs, Delta Force, and Rangers combined. What? The Quds Force is comparable to the SEALs, Delta Force, and Rangers combined? They wouldn't last 5 minutes on any battlefield anywhere with any of the SEALs, Delta Force, or Rangers, much less combined. That shows both an unbelievable ignorance of what our military capability is, and also a fawning, obsequious desire to elevate America's enemies and denigrate American capabilities and the Americans in our military. It was unbelievably offensive. I hope you're as offended as I am. I don't think I'm overreacting here. It was an absolutely outrageous statement. But the president, again, hit every note perfectly. Got the world's strongest economy. We're going to enforce our sanctions. We're going to increase our sanctions. We're going to beat you down economically. We've got the world's strongest military. We can take you out at any point. We're energy independent. We don't need your oil. We can operate without any constraints because we don't care. We're like Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes. We just don't care. We don't need you. We don't care what your opinion is. We don't care whatever threats you're going to make against us are. You can't touch us. But then he says, but that's not what we want to do. We want to work with you where we can on shared interests. We want to bring Iran into the community of nations. We want, so hit all the right notes. We want to work together. If you want to keep attacking us, we'll obliterate you off the face of the earth. But we don't want to have to do that, so don't make us do that. And predictably, the America-hating commie-crats, I wasn't joking when I said it, they hate you, they hate me, they hate America. That was hate on display. Tali Baba and Incest Omar and AOC and all those black congressional leaders. I make fun of the Black Congressional Caucus, not because they're black, but because they call themselves the Black Congressional Caucus and they wouldn't let Alan West in. They're not the Black Congressional Caucus. They're the Black Commie-Crat Caucus. Hank Johnson, we can have him. Mr. Afraid Guam's going to tip over himself, but we can't have Colonel Allen West. Sheila Racist Lee, we can have her, the Hangry Hippo. And by the way, even when the Hangry Hippo was speaking today, did you see them all, twittering, giggling in the background, all the commies? They literally hate America. Look at the picture. I made a meme out of it. Somber. I hate that Trump refuses to be weak. I hate that he won't be weak. He's strengthening America. We cannot abide that. They hate America. Just come out and admit you hate America, because it's clear for everybody who has a brain and who is intellectually honest to determine, to conclude based on your words and your actions that you hate America. So just come out and admit, change your name to the We Hate America Party. The Rent Too Damn High Party? We need a We Hate America Party. If you're a Democrat, just be honest and either call yourself a communist or call yourself a member of the We Hate America Party. So again, kudos to President Trump. The left once again showed who they are. Hope you're having a great beginning to the new year. All right, until next time, God bless you. God bless these United States. Keep fighting the good fight.